Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ask robtrek, where I try to answer your questions from the comments sections of my other videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Now, before we get started, I need to elaborate just a bit more on a previous video I did when someone asked me about image stabilization. And basically, I only referred to the three axes, vertical, horizontal, and the roll. And I don't know why I knew this, but there's 5 axes to the image stabilization system, right? There's vertical, horizontal, roll, but there's also pitch, right? Like this. And then there's also yaw. So that makes up all 5 axes. So hopefully that eliminates any confusion. I apologize for that. But let's go ahead and get to the first question for today. So this one's from Bhavant Patel, and he says, I'm switching from the Canon to OMS. I was surprised that none of the camera bodies have GPS. What is the easiest workflow to tag GPS coordinates to pics in OMS? Okay, well, technically the M1X and the TG5 cameras or TG series of cameras do have GPS built into them, but for the most part, the Olympus and OM system cameras do not. That said, there is a way to tag the images with the GPS coordinates, and you have to use the OM Share app. And through the OM Share app, there's 2 different methods. The first one only works with the OM1 as far as I know. And that is you can connect the camera to the OM Share app via Bluetooth, and it'll tag your images in real time as you're taking the pictures. It's not 100% reliable, and I'll explain that. And the second way is to run the OM Share app with the Add Geo Tag running, where it's tracking your location, and then when you're done, upload that tracking information to your camera, and it'll tag all of the pictures that you took while you were tracking. That way is much more reliable and actually works with a lot of the Olympus cameras. I tried it on my EM10 Mark II, EM5 Mark II, my Pen F. It works on all of them, including the OM1, and that's a very, very reliable way to do it. As I said, on the OM1, you can tag your pictures in real time as you're taking the pictures when you have a Bluetooth connection to the OI Share app on your phone. So let's go into the menu and make sure that Bluetooth is turned on. So you want to go into the wrench menu and scroll over until you see Bluetooth, and just make sure that that's turned on. And of course that airplane mode is off and everything else is fine. And that's the main thing. And then you'll see the little icon for the Bluetooth light up. So that means the Bluetooth is on and running, and your phone should see it. Next, you want to make sure that your phone is registered with your OI Share app on your phone. So you just go into Easy Setup, do a scan, and then on your camera, touch the Wi-Fi icon here, do device connection, and then click the info button if you don't see the barcode or whatever they call this thing. And then you just scan this with your phone. And your phone should pop up automatically as soon as you frame that little barcode in there. And then just do Start Setup, Register. And you have to do this time to time. I don't know why the app doesn't remember that I paired my OM1 before, but it's just one of those glitches I guess they'll fix down the road. Okay, now we're connected. Close that message, and you'll see all 3 icons connected or lit up, and it says OM1. And then one more thing I like to do before I actually start taking pictures is just pull up the remote control app just to confirm that I am connected to the phone, and I can see that yeah, the phone is seeing my camera. And this does 2 things, right? It confirms that we have a connection to the camera, but it also updates the time and date and syncs it to your phone, which is very important in the second method of geotagging your images. So anyway, let's go ahead and get out of this. And then we want to turn on geotagging, like so. And we'll close this. And now geotagging is on, and on our camera let's go ahead and exit out of the Wi-Fi mode or cell phone connection mode. And well, it still have Bluetooth on. It's still connected to the phone, but you'll also see right here, there's a little satellite icon. So that's telling you that any pictures you take will be tagged with the satellite coordinates or the geo, it'll geotag. So if I just take a random picture here, and let's push the play button. When I look at the image, you'll also notice right here, the little geo satellite icon telling you that this photo has been geotagged with satellite coordinates. And I can turn the camera off without doing anything on the phone. The phone can also go to sleep. I'll just put it to sleep. Let me turn the camera on. And you'll see that the Bluetooth is coming on, it's blinking. And then briefly after that, the satellite icon should start to come on and blink. So now the phone is paired again with the camera is paired again with the phone, as well as geo-tracking. So it's going to tag all your photos. As long as you see this little satellite icon, your photos will be geotagged. And if the camera goes to sleep, the Bluetooth shuts off and it turns back on. And it takes typically 10 to 15 seconds for the camera to pair with your phone and start geotagging. So let me go ahead and do this one more time. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of more pictures before the camera actually pairs with the phone. And again, the phone is sleeping right now. We'll wait for the satellite icon. There it goes. Now I'm going to take one more picture. All right, so if I push play, the last picture I took was geotagged because we did have the satellite icon in the live view. However, when I first turned the phone on, I took a couple of pictures before the satellite icon came on, and they are not geotagged. But this one is the very last one. But these few that I took did not get geotagged until we get back to when I had the satellite icon on. All right, let's turn the camera off and go back into our app. All right, geotagging is still on. So if we're done with our photo walk or whatever our event, we can turn this off now. And then it's going to prompt you to stop and save. If you hit cancel, it doesn't turn off the geotagging, it continuously tracks. So let's do stop and save. And then you can rename it here if you want to, but I'm not going to. So you click done and done. Now, if you remember, there were a couple of photos on this camera that did not get geotagged. So before I take the memory card out of the camera, I want to geotag those images because the tracker in the OI Share app, the geotagging was on. So that data has been recorded here, and it's going to sync it up with the photos in here that did not get geotagged. So before you do that, though, you need to connect the camera back to the app. So let's turn on the camera and click on the Wi-Fi icon here, do device connection. And with any luck, the app will connect with the phone automatically. Let's just click on remote control to see if we can force it. And the little Wi-Fi icon turned on here. Let's see. Awesome. It looks like it's connected. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and get out of this and go back into GeoTag and click onto the last log that we recorded. And right now it's just looking at the photos that you may have imported from into your phone before during that time, but we didn't do that. So just always let that run and finish and ignore it. You want to get back to this map. Then you click on this icon up here, like so. And it should connect to your phone at this point. And then you'll see a message saying processing, and it says geotags have been transferred to 4 photos, or 4 photos have been tagged. So the photos that I had on the camera that did not get geotagged in real time have now been geotagged. And there's an option here to import the photos, but I would just ignore that and just go right into my computer. All right, let me show you how to do this on cameras that don't have the auto geotagging like the OM1. And it's a very similar process to the last thing I did. But basically, you need to make sure that the phone is synced with the camera on time and date. And just double check your Wi-Fi or camera management setting here and make sure that this box is checked. It is by default, but you can always double check, right? And then do easy setup. If you haven't done this already, let's put the camera into Wi-Fi mode and then click info. And then we'll just get a snapshot, and this should pop up automatically. We can do start setup, register, and we'll wait for this to finish. Okay, all done. And then, like I said, I like to double check that the phone is connected to the camera, so we'll go into the remote control, and yeah, definitely is connected. Now, we can get out of the Wi-Fi mode on the camera, turn on the geotagging, and then we can just put our phone away. You can go to sleep or whatever, because now it's tracking through the app all the GPS coordinates. And then we can just use our camera and take a few pictures, right? And let's say we're done. I could even turn the camera off and then back on. All right, let's go back into the app. We're going to turn off geotagging, stop and save. Rename it if you want. Click done, click done. Let's go ahead and connect the camera back to the app. Like so. With any luck, it'll connect automatically. Let's see if we can go into remote control. Okay, good. So now we're definitely connected. Let's go into the GeoTag again. We're going to select the most recent log that we were using. We can ignore this. This is just looking at photos on our phone. Now, with any luck, if I push this, it should connect to the phone, process, and then you can see it says 8 photos have been tagged. And we don't need to import them. Click close. So let's get out of the camera's Wi-Fi mode and check our images. And yeah, we do have the little satellite icon telling us that the photos have been tagged with the geotag. All right, now let's look at some images I took the other day using method 1, where I paired the OM1 with my phone to geotag the images in real time. And if you look at the EXIF data, you can see that the GPS data has been inserted into the EXIF data of the image. And if I go over here to map, you can see that, which images I took and where they were. Now, if you remember, there were some images that did not get geotagged. So out of the 200 and some images I took, about 18 did not get geotagged because of that downtime between when the camera wakes up from a sleep mode to when it connects to the phone to start geotagging in real time again. So when I got home, I just ran method 2, where I paired the phone and camera together and uploaded those geotags that way. I would say just run method 2 and forget about method 1, because if you got to come home and do method 2 anyway, what's the point of method 1, right? The real-time geotagging. And the only thing is you have to make sure the time and date is definitely synced between the camera and the phone using that remote control method I showed you, because if they're not, you're not going to be able to sync the geo data with the images on your camera. And this is also true even if you're running method 1, and let's say the time and date was wrong. I changed the time and date on my camera and then synced it via Bluetooth to the phone. without updating the date and time. And believe it or not, it actually did geotag the images even though the time and date didn't match when I was using method 1. However, if there were any images that I took that did not get geotagged in real time, and I wanted to do it when I got home using method 2, they will not update those images with a geotag because the time and date is off. So even if you're using method 1, it's still important to make sure the time and date is geosynced or synced together so that when you do run method 2 when you get home, they'll pair up nicely. So that's all I have for today. Thanks again for your questions. And if you found this helpful, consider buying me a coffee or making a donation in the links below. But I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you again soon.